So I've been discussing a topic that was brought up by my ex-wife in front of my kids, in front of my in-laws in 2013 about porn and pleasuring oneself, masturbation. Now, I didn't ever want that to be a public topic. My ex-wife forced that to be a public topic, refused to talk to me in private, screamed at me in front of God, my kids, and my in-laws about when I was in Seattle for work, right before I got in my horrible car accident on the way home from this job. I had watched porn, and it was on my computer, and it was a way that I was able to relax and go to sleep in a 3-day event where I drove all the way up to Seattle and all the way back and worked for 3 days. And it was hard for me to get to sleep because, all the work and all the driving and all the stress, I just couldn't sleep. So I used, visual, stimulation to arouse myself and to pleasure myself so I could go to sleep, because that releases, oxytocin and all these other, feel-good hormones. Dopamine and serotonin and things like that are all released during an orgasm. So it did help me sleep. It did help me relax, especially in times of stress and in times where I wasn't with my wife or whatever. So I've been told, because I've talked about this on 3 other videos about this, and starting all the way back in 2013 when she, basically emasculated me over this in front of everybody. And I made some videos over it because, I told her before we got married that while I was on the road, that's something that happened. That the guys were watching it while I was on the road with them, and I didn't like their versions. It was awful. It was, it was toxic. It was, gross. And I wasn't into it, so I watched some soft porn on the hotel TV and charged it to the room, and I told her about it. She never put up any boundaries, never said that offended her, hurted her, or anything like that. Just, accepted that's how it was. And for 10 years, that's how it was. On a rare occasion, very rare occasion, because I worked and slept and, ate and everything at home. I never had to really leave the house to make money. So I was always near her, and I was always taken care of pretty good most of the time by her, unless we were fighting, or disagreeing on something, or she was punishing me for something. But otherwise, we had a pretty good, sexual connection the entire marriage up to that point. And then I told her because, she got stressed and, kind of fell out of wanting to, take care of me and, resented me and stuff. We fell kind of apart in that way romantically. And I told her, hey, if we're not going to be close and intimate, then why are we married? Let's figure that out. So things changed up a little bit, and everything was good for a couple months, and I got in that accident. And, even though I took her aside and had a private conversation, she decided that she was going to have a very public conversation with me. And we talked about it. Well, she yelled and I listened. I didn't really have much of a discussion with her. She screamed and screamed and screamed and threatened and told me she was going to take the kids away from me, and I cheated on her and all this other stuff. It was not the case. Never touched another woman, never flirted with another woman the entire time we were married. Ever. Turned down sexual advances. Wasn't into it. Wasn't my thing. I was into one woman. I was a one-woman man. I was married for 18 years. Never cheated. Anyway, so I get thinking, because I get shamed by her or maybe friends of hers, why do you talk about that publicly? Why is that a public issue?